one of two ways. Number one, you can have love without responsibilities. You can have it, you know. You can have, this casual, free reign love where you don't think about responsibilities. There's no law that govern your relationship. And don't be surprised when there are people who question, why do I need to get married at all? You know, I already have everything that I want. You know,
True.
I can touch her, I can go out with her, we can have dinner, we can have all this fun. So why do I need to get married? I already have this thing. That's one option. The other option is you can have love with responsibilities, meaning you sign a contract. Let's have an agreement where we will commit to each other no matter what happens. You know, no matter apa, in movies they have this, marriage vow where they say till death do us part, right? Till death do us part. So that's a good sentiment, and that can only happen in the context of marriage, because marriage is a contract. It's a legal situation that you are committing yourself to, and you can have it. That's love too, but it's love with responsibilities, where I have to take care of you. I have to fulfill your rights. I have to, if let's say you bear my child, I have to take care of the child, right? So there's responsibilities. And let's say, for example, we want to part ways, can we don't want this relationship anymore, we want to end the contract. There's also legal um, uh, procedure that you have to follow if you want to get a divorce,
Mhm.
right? So all those things boils down to one particular issue that I want to address, and that is responsibility. Do you want
Willpower comes with
love with
responsibility.
responsibility, or do you want love without responsibility? And if you want to answer this question, you have to go back to the discussion we had before about children.
Mhm.
About children.
Children.
You don't have a child, but you can observe children that you know
True.
around you. Maybe children in your family, you have a nephew, niece, or you have children in the playground in your neighborhood. You can observe them, and you start to realize one thing: they don't have responsibilities. They have fun, but they don't care about responsibilities, and they don't have to, because they're kids, they're children. It is their time to only have fun without responsibilities. But children can't be children forever. They have to grow up. And
Mhm.
as they grow up, one of the things that enable them to grow up is responsibility. You start to realize that slowly, as you become a teenager, you become a young adult, you become an adult, you start to gain more responsibilities compared to when you were 5. Like my son is now
Mhm.
7. He has no big responsibilities on his shoulder, and he doesn't have to. It's not his time yet. He's still in that framework of being a child, having fun, play, not thinking or caring about responsibilities yet. But for us, we have to think of responsibility. Every single thing that we do must have consequences and must be in the framework of a responsibility. And talking about love and relationship, it should be within the same framework. You cannot, if you want love without responsibility, that's I'm sorry to say this, that's like a child's love. It's like you want all the fun but none of the responsibility, right? Like I can be with you, hang out with you, we can touch hands, we can do all this fun stuff together, and the moment where I don't feel like I want to be with you, let's just break up. I don't feel like we can continue this anymore. And you can imagine the emotional pain that that kind of exercise can cause. And that's where we go back to the idea of what's safe. What do you mean by safe? The safest method to me, when you say safe, I think of emotions, because this is a very emotional thing that we're discussing, right? Marriage, love,
Marriage, love.
wanting to be needed, wanting to be apa nama, supported. So, is it emotionally the safest method for you to just try things out, and then if it works, you get married? I would argue no. I would argue the safer method is for you to clearly lay out in the beginning that the only reason I would like to have this relationship with you is for marriage and no other reason. Like if you want to confess, this is how you confess. You don't confess, I like you very much, because that kind of confession has no call to action that's clear. Because what
True.
do you really want when you say you like me? Okay, you like me. Okay, I hear you. So what do you want? What do you want? But if you say to the person, I'm considering you like me,
Wow. Wow. That was a clip from yesterday's live.
Yeah, so sadly I wasn't there, but I think it's pretty interesting his point of view talking about how marriage is important because there's the responsibility part to it, doesn't it?
Yes, it is. And honestly, you guys should watch it. Like we've also got timestamps for you guys to look like chapter by chapter. And honestly, even though I thought I did pretty bad on my first live stream on this podcast, it went pretty well, to be fair. It went pretty well. It went
I
pretty
guess it went
well. It
pretty
went
well.
pretty
It's
well.
okay.
But,
We are going
but
to be
anyways,
releasing
Haziq,
more
yeah,
clips from the live, so look forward to it.
look forward to it. Yes. Anyways, Haziq, I think I've done a lot of the intro. Now you may do the honors.
All right, hello and welcome to another episode of What Now
Jom lah lepak.
with Haziq
Baru
and
betul. Seimbang, adil. Gitu.
tu dah lama dah kita buat cerita tak? Tapi tak apa, kita dengar sekarang.
Honestly, guys, this is the first episode that Haziq is on the podcast for quite a while.
It's been a while.
After Bagai Mimpi. Yeah.
I was on Bagai Mimpi. I don't even remember being
No,
on
no,
Bagai
no, no.
Mimpi.
You
Bagai
weren't-
Mimpi,
you
I
weren't
wasn't
You-
there.
Yeah, you weren't there.
Ah,
Yeah.
so, but I was there before Bagai Mimpi. Okay.
Yeah, Bagai Mimpi, yes. But okay, but if you guys want to watch Aiman Azlan's episode yesterday, do watch it because it's a very, very in-depth, or you can say mind opening about love and marriage in this generation. But today we have a very special guest today, and again, it's one of our seniors. Yeah,
From
It's
school
one of our
again.
seniors.
Yeah.
Yes, you know what? Our school is pretty unique. You know, we have different unique individuals. Don't you think, Aziz?
Betul. Everyone has their own story.
Betul-betul. Dan no, okay, but this story is really interesting because dia kahwin lepas Asasi UM pula, Asasi UiTM, guys. Literally.
Jarang dengar
Ha.
juga tu. Nah, habis asas terus kahwin. I don't know. To some people they're like, okay, that doesn't seem like a good idea, but I think to some people they also kind of envy that, right? Ada orang yang macam memang betul-betul nak je terus kahwin tu. Kalau boleh dah habis
Betul.
sekolah dah kahwin terus kan. Tapi maybe if you want to consider the option, if you don't want to consider the option, maybe you should listen to his side of the story lah.
True. So let's please welcome Anas Khairul Azman.
Hello, everybody.
Hello. Hey, man. Honestly, Kazi, look at his setup. Nah, man.
Yeah.
Man,
Kalau
is
kita
this
punya
about
dulu.
the setup or about the marriage?
Oh, okay. We put aside the setup. Okay,
Aduh.
so this is Anas, and you know what? Tengok muka senyum macam ni pun dapat tahu lah kenapa kahwin awal. Handsome betul.
Exaggeration. Tapi sure.
Nah. Just take
hey,
it.
but I mean,
I'll take it. Thank you.
yeah. I think let's give a little introduction of who Anas is. Anas, don't you want to give a little introduction about yourself? You know yourself best. Maybe give
Yeah.
some detail about who you are and what you do now.
Hi, everyone. Ordinary person from Bangi. happened to be their seniors, and right now I'm pursuing my bachelor's in chemical engineering. About to approach my final sem actually. Yeah, so I think that's it about me. And yeah, I got married early.
Which university?
UiTM.
Your item juga.
Yeah, UiTM juga.
Wow.
But anyway, but if you guys look at the posters, he wasn't a batch. He wasn't taking medicine. My bad. That was his wife. But still,
Correct.
it's something that you should know as well.
Yeah. His wife is taking medicine and he is studying
Chemical engineering. Yep.
chemical engineering. Interesting.
Yeah, interesting. But yes, anyways, today we're going to talk about his love story, which I think is one of the most funniest and the most youngest I've heard ever in my entire 20 years of living.
I'm honored.
Right.
Okay.
Definitely. Right. Before that, on this podcast, we usually have 3 set of questions before we lepak with our guests.
Sure.
True.
Okay, Haziq, do you wanna be the person who says all 3 questions?
Okay, let's review the 3 questions. First of all, why marry at a young age? And how did you manage to make that decision? Second is tell us the story of how you got engaged with your wife. And third, how does it feel to juggle student and marriage life? I think this question is really interesting to many of us out here. Susah juga tu. I honestly I cannot imagine it like managing both situations at the same time. But let's hear it from you. We can move on to the first question, I guess.
Okay. So first question is why marry at a young age? I think this isn't really a question that many people want to ask because I think most people would do the same in my position. But I was basically just taking the opportunity that was given because my parents were okay with it. So, and they wanted to support my decision. It was more of if we allowed you to get married now, would you do it? And I said, yeah, sure. I would like that. I would love that. So I did.
You know what?
And yeah, that's where we are now. I was just
Honestly,
taking
let
the
me just-
opportunity that was given. Yeah.
Honestly, let us like acknowledge how brave he is to take that leap of faith at a young age.
Wait, so you actually approached your parents and said that I want to marry her, or you approached them and said I like this girl? Which was it?
Both. Because they know
Okay.
about her. They do know about
Okay.
her like beforehand.
Okay.
So I don't know if like my dad thought it was a question of time or something, but one day I just said to him, yeah, this, and now we're here, you know?
I see,
It was
see.
it was starting from Abah bila nak ni. And then yeah, that's where we are now.
Wow.
I would get into more detail because that one is in the second question. So
All
yeah,
right.
so for now that's just how it happens. That's the gist of it.
I see. That's the gist of it. I think like our conversation I think was on Thursday, right? Anas, we had a lepak session. Yeah. You
Correct.
told me that you wanted to marry because of the niat you had inside of you, right?
That's true.
Yeah.
So
Tell us how
what Haikal is
yeah,
talking
tell
about,
us-
right?
Mhm.
Is that you know how relationships in like as a Muslim lah, it's more of it's like kind of a moral gray area you could say, macam like a relationship between boy and girl kena jaga-jaga semua and whatnot, right? So it was just my way of holding up my beliefs and also hers as well lah. We both believed that macam this would be the right way to go if we were to be jumping into a relationship, you know, like we it was basically just a way to mitigate the haram side, I guess you could say, macam the more sinful side lah of relationships, you know. So yeah, we agreed to have a relationship that was purely based on texting and phone calling. So that was how we managed it. We made sure to have that understanding before we went into the relationship.
And I think what you also said, like in the beginning of the relationship, you cleared out all the expectations. You cleared out all like
Yeah.
the big yes, and I think that's really important. You know, like when people get into a relationship, they don't talk about these things. You know, there's no call to action. Like
That's true.
yeah, that's like the video we just that we just showed in the beginning. But yeah, that was really good of you, like just to establish those boundaries, establish those expectations.
Mm-hmm.
You can
So
definitely see
yeah,
very mature relationship lah from the beginning.
yeah. I just didn't want to be a fuckboy.
Nice,
Are you
nice.
saying? Are you saying that? No,
I just didn't want to. I just didn't want to get into a relationship that didn't really mean anything to me, and that I was just gonna
Yeah,
be
yeah,
over
yeah.
within a few months or a few weeks. You know what I mean?
Mm,
I wanted to
Mhm.
make sure that if we were to have this relationship, it would mean something.
and the marriage really,
That's just how I believe it to be. You know,
Mm,
it wasn't necessarily about getting to the final step of getting married. It was more of kita masuk, we have this meaningful relationship, like we support each other semua whatnot lah, like a proper relationship, you know, together. So, and kalau ada rezeki, we get married. It's just how it was.
faham. Wow.
Mhm.
I gotta say,
And I
envy him.
think
Which one of you want to
ikut
go
orang lah.
first?
Ikut orang lah, ikut orang.
you know rezeki orang di masa yang berbeza kan. Unless got it
Betul.
early. Maybe Aziz tahu kan tahun depan kau dah kahwin lah.
Tak tahu
Mana
lah
tahu kan.
Haikal. Tak tahu lah Haikal.
It's okay, man. It's okay. But like life is a very weird thing, One moment you're like this, and the second moment like, oh my god, it actually happened,
Yeah. It actually took me
Yeah.
quite a long time to like process that, you know. Sometimes like after the marriage, even a year into it, I'd be like, yo, damn, I'm married, you know. Sometimes it hits you again. It's a surreal situation, you know.
You're like, are you my wife? Is it? Like, serious?
Not like you're my wife. It's like, oh, yeah, I'm in this position, you know, I'm married. You know?
Faham.
Yeah.
That's
Sometimes it
something
hits
you
you.
would usually think about like when you're still a student kan.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess you can move on
Right.
to the next question.
And then we will also lie in the chat later, because I think there's just there's one interesting question that I would like to ask Anders later.
Okay, can.
Sure. Right. So let's move. I think this is the most juiciest part of this podcast, which is tell us the story of how you got engaged with your wife.
Yeah, I like telling this story because everybody who I've
Tell
told
us.
this story
Tell
to
us. Tell us.
has had a funny reaction.
Oh, funny reaction, really?
Yeah. I like seeing that.
I'm
reaction.
looking forward to it.
So the story is basically we were dating for a while. I think it was up until we started dating in like February of 2019, and then we were approaching. Was it 2019? Yeah, it was 2019. Oh wait, no, 2018. Sorry. So 2018 in February we started dating, and then it was around mid-year, like post Ramadan, semua tu masa nak raya kan, near raya lah. And then my parents knew about my relationship. They knew that I was calling with her pretty much almost every night, right? So they knew she existed. They knew I had a girlfriend to say. So like they acknowledged her lah, but dia orang tegur macam parents do lah, macam Anas ni tak boleh. Tapi macam, you know, we said
parents,
yeah,
right?
yes, betul. Tapi you know, we just takkanlah nak break because parents cakap tak boleh. I mean, to me, I didn't think that I was doing anything wrong. Tapi obviously, so benda tu is a grey line. I don't want to get into it. So macam, you know, just continue on lah. And then I think we were having this conversation with me and my wife lah, my girlfriend at the time. So we were discussing macam what's the next step. What now, right? We've basically.
Lepak. Okay, sorry. Sorry, I had to say that. Okay, continue.
Okay. So we were at the point in our relationship where we pretty much knew each other very well, and like there was nowhere else to go lah, boleh kata, because we are not going to be having like physical dates, things like that. We're not going to be meeting up in person and going out on dates cuma tu. So macam you could say that the relationship peaked, but not really. So macam what's the next step? So logically the next step is macam getting engaged and getting married lah. So we were just discussing the possibility, tak adalah macam it wasn't really like a concrete thing, you know. It was just us macam, oh kalau ada the possibility, yeah, probably we would definitely get married macam. We were open to the idea, you know. Macam it's not like a hesitant thing. So macam, oh okay, so we both feel the same way macam. We would be down to it, you know. So just one day, I just asked my dad lah, abah bila nak Malaysia? So my dad macam, oh okay, boleh. Bila nak buat? And I'm like, oh yeah, for real?
Macam tu,
So,
boy.
yeah. So
I think
okay.
my mind dia pun dah macam tu terus.
Yeah, I was actually macam my mind, like my tone was macam my mind, you know. Bila nak Malaysia? And he was like, okay, bila boleh nak buat? And then, so coincidentally, my wife, at that time, their family wanted to meet me lah satu. So, oh macam, okay lah, kena lah, right? I want to do the Malaysia thing, and they want to have raya, and meet me. So macam, okay, lah, it aligns. So I told my dad the plan. Okay, they want to have us over to raya. So macam, yeah, okay lah. And then, just approaching, right? I think like the previous day or 2 days before the day was actually supposed to be. Mind you, this conversation happened like mid Ramadan with my dad too. And then when I knew about the like possibility, I was like just praying for it to happen lah. Macam Ramadan kan doa makbul semua kan. So macam just doa hoping for it to happen, you know, hoping to get married semua tu lah. So and then like 2 days before when we were supposed to meet her, my dad macam I asked him lah, apa game plan kan? Not, I didn't say game plan. I just said, how are we gonna do this tomorrow? Lepas tu he was like, esok kita akan bawa cincin and then kita terus set date. I'm like, oh.
My
God.
God.
In my position, even I was shocked. I was like, yo, for real?
Tapi tak ada cincin lagi.
I think we're skipping a few steps. Sorry?
Tak ada cincin lagi lah. Baru nak beli cincin.
Tak ada. It was like tiba-tiba. It went from, oh, nak Marisa. You know how Marisa is like just a meeting and getting to know each other, right?
Yeah.
It is not a bertunang thing. I didn't expect to be engaged, you know? So my dad cakap, oh, kita akan bawa cincin and then we're gonna set the date. I'm like, okay, I'm like shocked, but at the same time I'm happy lah because, you know, this is the development I wanted. Tak adalah I wanted, tapi macam a development that was macam you would want, you know what I mean?
Betul. What you were looking forward to. Betul.
Yeah.
So so takkanlah nak barge into that because the other side was expecting raya je. So, takkanlah nak barge into the door bawa cincin macam unexpected. We gotta let the other side know. So I let my wife know. Oh Rina, esok abah cakap nak bawa cincin, lepas tu nak set date terus. Lepas tu she was like, huh? Huh? Serious lah? And then she told her parents, like dia punya mom was like crying because her daughter is gonna be taken away and all that. Macam, so it was kind of hard to process for both of us.
And this was the day before.
Yeah. Like the day or like 2 days before.
Yeah.
This is like
Like
so
2 days
much
before.
drama in one
2
day,
days before.
bro.
2 days before
Look
we
at
were
the
supposed
plot
to meet.
development, man.
Yeah, it was developing very, very fast. So we just pulled up the day. I don't remember what was the exact date, to be honest. So we just pulled up and then I didn't do any talking. I was quite nervous, tapi thankfully my dad macam carried the conversation and was able to converse dengan her dad macam about basically just getting to know each other. It wasn't even about the marriage pun at the time. We're just getting to know each other and then while we were having lunch, they discussed it lah over lunch and like so how to do everything right. And then coincidentally thankfully my father-in-law macam at the time was quite open to the idea lah. He was like, he thinks it's a good thing. He thinks that it's a good thing that we are going to take macam the right steps lah, you could say. Macam most people don't think of macam marriage at this age. Macam you think main-main je kan. because to be honest, my father-in-law thought I was playing around. That's why they wanted to meet me.
Oh,
Yeah,
faham.
they didn't want my wife to
Oh.
be macam associated with the guy yang not serious about relationship, macam main dengan
Like you
perasaan
said
semua tu
earlier,
lah.
fuckboy tu lah.
Yeah, fuckboy tu lah. So yeah, dia punya that was like shock lah. Tapi like we came to an understanding lah. Like both of our parents macam we shared the same macam idea boleh kata macam, oh, this is a good thing. Macam you guys want to get married, then why not? Macam it's a good thing. This is basically what my dad said word for word lah. Is benda diorang nak kahwin ni is a good thing. So kenapa kita halang? Right? It doesn't have to be macam punya glamour punya wedding ke or anything. Just halalkan the relationship is a good thing. So tak elok lah halang. Tak elok lah cakap, oh nak kena tunggu ni lah, or ada prerequisite semua tu lah. Basically is what he's saying. So yeah, they were both down for the idea, and then it wasn't like terus wedding planning or anything. It was just okay, so we got engaged. That day juga we got engaged. When it was supposed to be pasal merisik, we got engaged. It wasn't a big macam bertunang ceremony macam I think most other couples do. Tapi I was happy with the outcome. We were both happy. And and then after that, I was engaged.
Just like that, man.
Just
was
like that. Just like
Just
that.
like that, man.
So bukan saja perayaan Aidilfitri, perayaan tunang juga. Wah,
It's like,
very cool, man.
yeah, like Aidilfitri, lepas tu terus kahwin. It's like your doa for Ramadan already makbul, bro.
Yeah. Quite
Literally.
shocked.
Yeah, quite shocking. I mean,
doa dapat tu.
Alhamdulillah.
so like what happened after that? Like what happened after you guys like merisik dah bertunang? What was the aftermath?
The car ride, so we were actually going Braya at that time. So like on the car ride to the other houses too, we were like discussing lah macam bila nak kahwin semua tu, right? My mom, she actually wanted me to wait, boleh kata. Tapi my dad macam kalau boleh nak awal lah, right? As soon as possible. Tapi my mom tanya,
your
tak
mom
ask me
cakap,
lah.
Your mom said
Boleh
nak
tunggu
wait tu
tak?
kenapa Kuliah sekarang tunggu.
Possibly to wait macam after study, I think.
Oh, faham.
Yeah, I don't know if that was actually dia punya waiting punya ni duration, tapi I think dia nak suruh tunggu habis study. But we were like just starting kita orang punya degree, so macam to wait 4 years is quite a long time lah.
Quite a long time.
And her course is actually 5 years, so macam I don't know. Tapi my dad macam kalau boleh nak get macam awalkan lah. So yeah, that was that.
That was, man. I'm still trying to process it, to be honest. Even like you told me the other day, I'm still trying to process it. It's like it happened all of a sudden, though.
Betul. I agree.
Wait, I just remember
like,
something. I just remember something. On my part, I remember like me and Anas dulu kita rapat juga lah. Macam time bersama sekolah kita selalu cakap-cakap.
Yeah.
That's
true.
And it's been a while because I'm not on Discord all the time, so I don't talk to them often on Discord kan. Diorang selalu kat Discord sembang-sembang kan. And then like out of nowhere tiba-tiba je macam daripada aku dengar daripada Ziyad, Haziq, lepas tu Anas kira nak kahwin dah. Aku macam dari mana kau tipu aku, kesian. Aku cakap itulah, aku cakap sumpah kau tipu aku cakap itu. Aku tak nak kau main ni. Aku confirm balik tu betul. Aku macam that guy is already getting married. Macam tak boleh brain awak.
Yeah.
Yeah,
my
yeah.
friends are all the same. My classmates all act the same way. Just serious, out of all the people,
Anas KA yang kahwin dulu.
Yeah, that was what they had to say. It's quite funny.
Yeah, it was like, I mean, okay, I think let's try to move on to the next question. Let's try to process it all as we move on to the next question. So the next question is, I think you have experienced this first, and it's been 3 years of your marriage. First of all, congratulations. It's been 3 years.
Thank you.
Yes, and 3 years is it's such a milestone, you know. Yes, as it clap. It is such a milestone. It is such a milestone. So like, how did you like manage to juggle with your studies and being a husband? You know, like
Mm,
yeah, like isn't it hard to do those things like simultaneously?
yeah, it can be. It can be. For me, it wasn't too difficult, I think, because my course isn't very intensive, I would say. I mean, I guess it is. If you want to score, it's definitely is. But I wasn't really much. I set my expectations, you know. So uh, if I think I can do it, then I'll just aim for something where I can go for, you know, grades
Uh,
wise lah. So
mind if I ask? Your
yeah, sure.
expectations are around what, 3 point something?
3.5. I would like to
Okay,
graduate with a
tu.
3.5, thankfully. If
Okay.
hopefully, yeah.
Kira tu.
So if I dia macam mana, because throughout the course of the degree macam ada these different courses, and like uh the subjects are different contents lah. So
Mm-hmm.
if the subject I think I can do, then it's fine lah. I take it very laid back, you know. It wasn't like when I was in SPM, because when I was in SPM, I was quite studious because I had to do a lot of catch up because I was playing around a lot and not really paying attention. So I had to do a lot of catch up. So thankfully, with degree and even in Asasi actually, I took a more laid back approach because I didn't have to play catch up, and I was absorbing most of what was being taught in the lectures. So it was all right for me lah to study, you know. But on her side, I can see that it's quite challenging because she has to
Mm-hmm.
study a lot. There's a lot of different modules I think that they have to learn, so it's quite hard for her because she has to do basically study every day if you wanna just pass the exam. I think just pass the test.
Just passing. Wow.
Yeah, just passing, because like failure macam is boleh kata quite common lah there. So macam for her I can see it's quite intensive, but for me it was quite laid back. In terms of juggling between the two, I would say we managed quite well lah, because in the first year of our marriage it was pre-COVID, and basically how it worked was for us, because I was studying in Shalam, right, and she lived in Shalam,
Mm-hmm.
so I would stay with their family during the weekdays, and I would just commute from their house to campus lah every day for class. And this started
Oh.
from my second sem up until, if I'm not mistaken, like half of the fourth sem, because that was when it was transitioning into COVID and online class. So I did that for like a year and a half, and my wife was staying at Sungai Buloh at campus. So we would meet on the weekends. We knew that, so our time spent is basically quite limited. Boleh kata we were just spending time on the weekends. Basically, it was boleh kata LDR jugalah.
Keep
And
up jugalah
then,
dengan those daily
Mhm.
nightly calls tu
yeah,
ada jugalah.
yeah, ada lah, kena lah, right?
Faham.
And then and then thankfully it was like a boleh kata positive salah from COVID, because of the quarantine we actually spent a lot of time together in our second year of marriage. So macam there was a good side to it, tapi with that, actually, because we were spending more time together and we were sharing a room together more often, there came the expectation of marriage lah, the expectation
I
of living together, boleh
see.
kata. Because before this, it wasn't really felt because we were spending most of the time on weekends kan.
Mm-mm.
So you have to get used to the living habits of each other semua tu lah. And
Mhm.
that was a learning experience lah for both of us.
How did you guys like manage to learn to compromise with each other's personality? You know, like once you were guys like during that COVID era, that first, yeah.
Yeah, so it was quite alright because I mean we both knew each other. Macam it's not like we went into the
I
marriage
see.
macam baru first met and so
Uh-huh.
it was just about trying to live together lah, boleh kata. Maybe she doesn't like it bila I do certain things this way. Maybe let's say for example, this one example I know is like the toothpaste. You know the toothpaste tube. She
Yeah.
would squeeze from the middle, right? Tapi I don't like that. I want to do it from the end. So I would comment on that. Why you press from the middle? Don't do it that way. Don't do it that way. So those are like some peculiar things that I can point out. You know, don't leave the toilet seat up, or things like that. You know, it's adapting and learning to compromise. Tapi macam the big issues macam keeping hygiene semua tu kena lah follow, right? Kalau dah kena tegur tu follow lah. So things like that you ikut, tapi benda yang macam nampak sangat nitpicky tu macam tu lah. You know what I mean?
True.
Yeah.
Korang gaduh tu ada tak?
Ada. It's a normal thing, you know. Macam what matters is how we handle it after the fact. It macam severe, maybe can be severe, maybe can be macam it's just a mild punya disagreement ke, tapi it's how you handle the aftermath is what matters lah, to be honest. And that's how we are sticking together up until now. So yeah.
Mind if I ask also, korang punya studies affected tak? Let's say you dealing with your studies right now, like without the marriage, and now that you're married and you are studying at the same time, like how would you say the whole situation is berbeza dengan situasi kalau dah kahwin dengan tak kahwin?
Grades wise, it would probably not be very different. Tapi kalau tak kahwin lagi, it was mostly I don't have to think about the responsibilities that I have as the ketua keluarga lah, you know. So I guess itu a little bit of a weight off my mind. Tapi at the same time, macam what's affecting me for my studies isn't the marriage, it's COVID. I don't like online class.
Oh yeah. You have the choice to either listen or sleep.
Yes, exactly.
Actually, where she studying?
Sungai Buloh, UiTM Sungai Buloh. She's studying medicine.
UiTM juga. And she's
Yeah,
also
UiTM
doing
juga.
online lah sekarang.
She actually has physical sebab this is her clinical year, so they have to be there.
Yeah.
I think for like whatever they can do online, they'll do online. Tapi like the clinical part tu memang kena buat depan lah.
I see. I do have another question for Anas as well. Like, you know when you guys are in like a marriage or relationship, you guys have this emotional baggage with you, right?
True.
You know, like you want to keep it. How do you guys like console each other? Like try to manage the emotions that you guys have.
Yeah, that's one thing I'm actually learning to do up until now, because it can be overbearing. Sebab sometimes during disagreements, so you have to handle your own emotion, and then you have to handle the other person's emotion. Tapi it's something I'm learning to macam deal with and do better in. So I guess you could say macam you just have to learn to compromise lah. If there is disagreement ke, or macam if the other person is not doing well, tapi macam let's say she's in her bad period, tapi I'm doing fine lah, boleh kata. You just have to try to do your best to sympathize lah. Yeah.
Sympathize, I see.
Sympathize and do your best to console, tapi at the same time janganlah macam macam mana nak cakap, try not to be too affected kalau benda tu somehow kena balik kat you, you know, because sometimes people don't act right bila under stress.
Tapi you know what, something that I also realized from Anas is like even the smallest thing they argue, like that toothpaste thing, kan? Yang pada kecil kan?
The toothpaste too is it didn't stem an argument. It was the toilet seat thing.
Oh, the toilet seat. So the toilet seat.
The toilet seat.
That is something big. That is something big.
Bergaduh satu lesi. Benda tu kan.
So even like the smallest thing, you guys even argue, like the toilet seat. Okay, I mean,
Yeah,
I think that
not like a huge argument, tapi ada a disagreement lah, you know.
I see. I mean, what's life when there's no disagreement between two people, right? You know, it makes it more
That's true.
interesting.
That's true.
Yeah.
Aku
But
dengan
I think
kau
that-
bergaduh kat aku ada belas hari semalam. Tak lah mainnya.
Aduh. Aku yang konsul kau kan lepas tu.
Satu. We're not romantic relationship. We're not in a romantic relationship.
No. We concept. We do. I mean, like me and Haziq, we do have our days when we just disagree with each other like really badly,
Yeah.
right? Or sometimes we just both
It's the
mess up.
same lah
Yeah.
with friendships
Yeah,
juga.
same.
Yeah.
Tapi kan, what I from yesterday's episode with Aiman Azlan kan.
Mm.
So there's one section of the podcast I asked Aiman, does the best of friends make the best of couples? You know?
That is a good question,
And-
bro.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you
And
say?
yes, it is true. The best of friends do make the best of couples. Tapi of course dalam konteks marriage lah. Sebab dalam marriage tu ada nilai kawan tu.
Yeah.
Kan? Ada nilai kawan. You want to like apa nilai kawan? Macam nak menolong, you empathize, you try to help, you compromise, and love as well. Like when you go to your friends, right? You love them, right? So you have the element of love as well. Cuma yang lebihnya ialah it's more than just love, it's romantic love, kan?
Not the
Tapi janganlah
not the platonic one.
ya not the platonic one. Tapi macam janganlah macam kalau dah kahwin tu nak kawan, but you must differentiate tak kawan lelaki dengan your husband,
Yeah.
you know?
100%.
Ya, kau tak nanti timbul masalah.
Betul.
Banyak masalah. Yeah. So
Yeah, so what's the question?
no. I'm just like that wasn't the question. That was just me just saying it lah.
Yeah.
Sharing
Okay.
what's to
Yeah,
share
yeah.
about that situation.
Uh,
I cannot imagine going through a situation, because the thought of marriage is, I would say, like really overwhelming. It's scary. It's so scary. Like, that's why. Like even though I'll just say, like, to be honest, I do have someone that I am like have feelings for, and kalau boleh pun nak go ahead and halalkan lah. Tapi tak dapat nak buat macam tu sebab kan ada a few things yang I have to have before I go ahead with it kan.
Yeah.
So like even just the thought of like getting married, like I want to, but the thought of it is so scary. Like I have to do this and that and this and that and this and that.
Yeah, I understand. That's why macam when I was getting into it, my parents really reassured me lah, because my dad was like, dia kata very straightforwardly, he said, yeah, kalau Anas kahwin, we will financially support you. Tak ada masalah. You just focus on your studies, and mak ngah will handle the financial side lah of the marriage. Macam we will support both of you. Boleh kata. You don't have to worry about nak kena cari kerja part time ke apa. Just focus on your studies and your marriage. Betul. We will handle I guess I could say is the most hard part lah, is the financial part, right? Because usually when it comes to marriage, the biggest hurdle is the financial part kan. Macam some people most definitely likely ada the niat to macam take the next step, tapi they just don't have the financial means. So which is why to this day I fully understand the fortunate position I'm in. So I'm very grateful lah.
Yeah. Tapi like to add on that point, like macam I think having a job before marriage is okay lah, but I think also what's also important is how you manage your money, how you manage your finance.
Correct.
You can have a lot of money, but if you don't know how to manage it, you can go crumbling down like in a week, or in a clip or just with a click of a finger. I mean,
That's true.
that's just an analogy lah, you know.
Completely.
Yeah, I mean, like when you think about it, there's no bare minimum of you like nak dapat income to get married. You know, there's no requirements.
Yeah.
Cuma, bila fikir balik, you don't need any requirements. Cuma if you know how to manage your money, manage your finance, then you can get married. Because I think at the end of the day, it's about kena mature lah.
Betul.
Mature ni dari segi apa? At least you have the bare minimum lah bagi saya. Bare minimum. The bare minimum nak dapat kahwin, dah mature, I think you can pursue. If you know your responsibility, if you know what you want to do, and you know your expectations, then I think you can go ahead lah.
Correct.
Ni,
I agree.
ni I think fans Haikal boleh tengok lah benda yang dia nak dekat diri dia sebelum dia akan approach tu.
What do you mean, Aziz? What do you mean?
No, you're talking about your own macam definition of like what's ready for marriage kan. So macam that's
Oh
what I'm
yeah, yeah,
saying.
yeah, yeah.
Kalau ada fans-fans Haikal tu yang macam ada minat dekat dia tu,
Ah,
tunggulah
what?
nanti. Tanyalah dia. Dah sampai belum bare minimum tu? Tengah dulu ni.
This has
Kan.
become.
Aduh.
I mean,
Ada ke Haikal yang tengah tunggu?
tak tahu
Tak
je
lah,
sih.
awak ni.
Tengok-
Okay.
Let's just say that it's just I'm still single, ready to mingle, but let's see how it goes.
Okay.
Betul. Different
Yeah.
people, different ni.
Yeah,
Situations.
but my approach to marriage is more like to relationships. Like I'll just ask these three main questions if I do have somebody in mind lah. Number one is like, what is your expectation of our relationship? That's number one. Number two, do you know your responsibility when we get into the relationship? Number three, can you handle the emotional baggage? Those are the three questions I will ask. And I think
Nice.
these are very fundamental questions you need to ask. Because this will dictate your entire life with the person lah.
Betul.
That is true. That is
Well,
very
I mean, in the case of macam, I would say, if I were you kan, like if I chose someone already, and I don't really have the time to prepare these three questions. Let's say macam aku rasa kurang lagi kat sini. To be honest, if that person is willing, if I can say that person, I kata macam, that person, macam ada yang, okay, I don't have this yet, but are you willing to like go through with it with me? You can learn together, because daripada cerita Anas kan, macam he says that they're still learning tau. So macam I think that's pretty cool lah. That's the point of a relationship pun.
Yeah.
Together,
Tep-
learn, go further kan.
Tapi but also you kena kenal orang tu dulu lah sebelum nak buat keputusan, you know.
Betul.
The best
Dia pun
choice
kalau boleh
the
kenal
best
dia jugalah.
the best choices are the ones that are informed kan.
Betul.
Yeah.
Nowadays it's not like zaman dulu where like kena arrange, you know. Now I think lah Melayu more open to the idea of dating, right? So macam there's
Yeah.
definitely many opportunities for you to kenal someone before
And
you
then
get married.
but also like say macam there's different ways of you getting married kan. Macam you can go arrange, which we will delve in tomorrow. It's a perkahwinan yang lagi
Foreshadowing.
istimewa.
Foreshadowing.
For tomorrow's episode. Yep. Ataupun macam Anas dia dating dia bertaaruf. Taaruf is like an Islamic term of like nak berkenalan dengan orang before marriage. Okay. So mungkin kita boleh buat macam tu, ataupun maybe you can go for the Western approach, which you use your intuition. Yeah. I mean there's just many approach. Cuma just whether the one, it just, I guess it's up to you lah. If you want to bear the consequences lah.
Ultimately, it's up to you. Okay, actually this ties in a question. Najmi ada tanya soalan, and I think dia ties in with pasal taruh ni, and I think I want to ask Anas.
Sure.
Korang dah korang berkenalan on call dengan tu macam dah jadi girlfriend boyfriend tu lah kan, like macam not to the point yang sampai situ, but halal boyfriend girlfriend tu. At which point yang you rasa she's the one? Ke daripada awal tu you dah cakap she is the one, baru you approach her?
Chana, it was I think starting from when we got the expectations out of the way tu macam I had assurance lah. It wasn't necessarily she's the one moment, tapi it was assurance lah macam we share the same mentality bagai. And then I got to know her more, and I found myself macam liking her more lah. So because we had the same macam philosophy of how to do this relationship thing, but tu macam we had the same beliefs juga when it came to religion bagai. So it reassured me lah. Macam it's kind of rare to find someone yang macam think the same way you do, right? When it comes to it wasn't necessarily about macam having the same interests semua tu. It was just more of just common understanding. So from that common ground too, I think I became assured, and macam just like that, macam I just thought to myself macam she's the one. Sebab actually when we were dating, I accidentally popped the question in the spur of a moment thing lah. Tapi macam it was genuine emotions, tapi it was probably macam a little bit premature boleh kata, tapi you know Alhamdulillah
What's the
ada
question?
rezeki.
What's the question?
No, I pop the question, macam nak kahwin tak? Things macam tu lah.
Oh.
Macam it was in the moment.
Oh.
Tapi you know, and she macam at the time she agreed that macam it was just macam she was macam terharu lah, because nobody,
You know what?
because she's dated other people before, tapi
Mm.
none of them were macam serious to this degree. So she was very terharu, and because we both felt the same, macam yeah, sure. Tapi tak jatuh hukum lah sebab takkan lah, right? Yeah. So macam the next day macam dah tak mamai because we were on the phone usually for long durations lah back then. So macam after tu macam I probably jam dengan a bit to macam jatuh hukum ke and whatnot, tapi macam it's probably fine.
I mean, yeah, betul. And actually, Najmi has been asking a lot of really interesting questions yang bawah-bawah lagi.
Betul.
Yeah. Okay, this one's another interesting one.
Yes,
Now that you are married,
I was really looking at this.
is your wife is as per your expectation or as still the same person when you were still dating?
She's the same. Tapi macam mana nak kata, this comes with just general macam relationship things. Tapi because when I was dating my wife, it was quite a short period, to be honest. And then terus kahwin, right? So I didn't have I was learning lah, because this is my first relationship also. I forgot to mention that. So I was learning to macam be in a long-term relationship. So macam sometimes macam awal-awal tu mesti ada butterfly, right? Macam
Yeah,
sekarang
betul, butterfly.
boleh kata macam it's not macam exciting boleh kata as before, tapi I still love her very much, macam ada that comfort feeling. It's not like macam giggling dulu, macam selalu on the phone lepas tu giggle together, right? Tapi ada comfort, macam there's a lot of things I can say to her, there's a lot of things I can macam talk to her very casually about, sebab I've known you for very long, lepas tu macam we are comfortable with each other about these things. Tapi like to be honest, I have hit macam certain points where I was like sebab sometimes we are not conversing macam we used to, sebab dulu selalu ada banyak benda nak cakap, tapi now sometimes tak cakap selalu kan. So it was a learning experience lah for me, because now dah we are not talking much ni, kita dah macam mana, bukan nak kata lose feelings lah, macam have we changed or something, macam what's wrong, right? So it was a learning experience for me, tapi macam benda tu normal lah, macam dah lama kenal each other, and then takkan lah you want to talk all the time
All
kan.
day,
So sometimes I find myself tengok orang lain punya relationship advice, right? Macam other people have felt the same way or was in the same position as I am, where diorang rasa do we have to talk all the time semua tu. Lepas tu macam people have answered, no, you don't have to, sebab it's normal to have these macam short breaks, macam you just are not saying anything, you don't have to talk all the time. It's exhausting lah to talk all the time. So it was me boleh kata it's a growing experience for me as a person, satu, and it was a growing experience for her as well, sebab I think we both felt the same way, macam rasa macam are we growing apart boleh kata, tapi it's not the case at all. We still love each other very much, and we will continue to do so lah, insyaAllah.
I think you also put it something really, really important as well, like macam love is in many forms kan. It can be from word of affirmation, it can be just staying there in the present, just spending time, there's different types of way to show that you love somebody kan. So I think like even like just not talking, just being with them is, for me, is spending time already, which is pretty sweet, like
It
macam
is.
even I also apply this to my family as well, like with my mak bapak and my sister. Like I just spend time kat rumah aja, I don't talk, tapi I'm spending time with them. That's how I see it. Yeah,
that's true.
I mean, if you like constantly with them, at some point, there's gonna be, you're gonna exhaust all your options of talking about things.
Betul. You can't always have conversation points kan.
yeah. Tapi
Which
macam
is kind of
man,
actually to fikir something though, like respect dekat to hats off to those our parents. Like maintaining a relationship is difficult. It's difficult.
Betul.
Yeah.
Even if it's a haram relationship, even if it's a halal relationship, even if it's marriage, anything, like
Mhm.
sticking with a person and going through and like dealing with the not I wouldn't say emotional baggage, but like you guys are like romantic couple. You know, romantic couple is more than just friends, kan? And like
Betul.
maintaining that and being tied to each other for like a long time.
Yeah,
That's a lot of effort, I gotta say.
it
And like
is.
people, I think there's one thing people say now. If you're meant for each other, it will be easy. But
That's really not the case at all.
I really have to disagree lah. Macam bukan macam tu though. Like even if you're meant for each other, even if you guys are the one for each other, it doesn't mean that it'll be easy. A lot of things you go through so many different
Betul.
things, and macam
I agree.
I think this applies nak cakap juga dekat Najmi. How do you know she is the one? You just know. JK.
I think I don't know. Like you just never
The
know
time
if
will
she is
come.
the
The
one.
time will come.
Yeah,
It just
the
happens.
time will come. Yeah. I don't know. For me, like macam I don't know. It's hard to tell that if she is the one. But I guess if we have the same idea of what love is, and we just pursue it lah. That's for me lah. That's my perspective.
To get into this lah perspektif pun Tuhan dah tentukan jodoh tu dah ada.
Yeah.
Kalau you
Betul.
dah ada jodoh tu, kalau you nak just set effort lah kan. And then macam if you want to one advice you give to Pujang. Okay. So if you apa cakap tadi? So macam I want to say respect lah dekat parents kita yang nak maintain relationship sampai
Yeah.
banyak anak dalam kerja. They probably had fights as well. I mean I've seen my parents have fights before. Relationships aren't perfect.
Sama-sama.
Relationships are difficult.
Yeah.
Betul.
Tapi kan also like families, our parents are the ones that first showed us what love is all about. You know.
Betul.
When we were kids.
That's so true.
Yeah. When we were kids, they told us, they didn't tell us, but they showed us what it is. Yeah, you know, it shaped us perspective. You know, macam, and honestly, like my parents' anniversary is coming up soon, so happy anniversary in advance.
One thing to comment about like the one punya thing, you don't have to stress so much about it. I think sebab macam kalau ada, let's say ada rezeki you kahwin, right, tapi nak kata that the relationship isn't going very well, and then ada kemungkinan you guys are going to be separated, macam there's still a possibility of you finding a different partner. You know, you don't think terlalu depan lah, is what I'm saying. How do you feel at the moment? Do you think macam you can go further? Then just go. Then when the time comes, let's say, or maybe Allah dah tentukan jodoh kita lain, then you just have to go through it lah, right?
Betul.
Yeah, kalau divorce tu unfortunately yes, okay, separation, tapi don't think of it macam dah divorce tu your ex ni evil pula. you have had good moments with them. Macam don't lie to yourself lah, you know what I mean? Just hopefully kalau if it does happen ada separation tu, it's with good terms lah, kan?
Betul.
Yeah, betul. And also macam
You know what?
possibly maybe good terms tu pun ada juga chance with each other, ya tak?
Betul. Wah. Okay, before we like move on to the we end it all, let's just ask. I think we have one of our previous guests, Farishiro.
Parishiro is in the comments. Let's see this.
Yeah, let's see this. What was your expectation to be as a husband before you get married, and how do you feel it now? Oh, this is really interesting.
Expectation to be a husband. Yeah, this is one thing macam boleh kata hindsight lah. Hindsight is 2020, right? Is that going into the marriage, I was just expecting it to be dating tapi halal. That was a bad mindset, to be honest. So going into it, like I experienced it like further down the road lah. Awal-awal tu macam tak really rasa sangat sebab we were in a long distance kan. But we were new to everything. Tapi now that I'm quite deep into it, macam I just have to learn lah to be a good husband, macam support both financially, emotionally, and all that lah. So to be a husband, I expected it to be, before marriage, I expected it to be boyfriend plus, like, you know, boyfriend tapi halal.
Boyfriend plus.
It's not that. It's
Macam
more
bayar
than
macam
that.
subscription dia. Macam, can I have a boy band plus please?
Betul juga, subscription juga akan bayar. Faham? I get where he's coming from. I totally get where he's coming from. Boyfriend plus.
Yeah. So expectations definitely different, you know. It's different from what I'm experiencing right now. Tapi you learn to live with it, and yeah, alhamdulillah, okay lah for up until now,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, man. Wow, you know what?
Alhamdulillah.
This episode has been quite very connecting, you know.
Haikal nak kahwin esok, by the way.
Okay, siapa nak datang ke perkahwinan aku? Jom.
Okay, nanti tak saya kan. Dia kan sendiri kan. Zaman sekarang kan ni je. Dia tak hantar kad tau. Zaman sekarang hantar online je. Kat grup
Yes.
WhatsApp kan.
Ya tu.
Nanti tengok semua orang dapat dengan esok. Nanti semua follow. Nanti semua siapa yang follow hari ni dapat.
Betul. I mean, kidding. I'm not getting married tomorrow. Don't worry. I have an event tomorrow, anyways.
You have an episode to record tomorrow.
Oh yes, we have an episode with Fakri, also a previous guest, and yes, he is. His marriage is arranged marriage, so it's really interesting. Like it's not those typical like arranged marriage story. It's the most unique one I've ever heard so far, right? Just long story short, they got married online. That's it.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah, they
Modern
got
marriage.
married online.
Zaman sekarang baru-baru ni.
Yeah, baru-baru. Okay, kalau korang ada soalan lagi, okay, pasal perkahwinan ke apa, kita boleh, you can ask those questions tomorrow, okay, with Fakri. I think he has a bit more deep, but has more insight as well, like Anas. I think Anas, your points were very, very good. You know, you once told me that you weren't good at giving relationship advice. Well, here you are now, man.
I don't know if it was good, but thank you.
Any
It was great, it was
advice is advice, right? So yeah,
that's
any
true.
advice is advice. Yeah, and honestly, it was we cleared like a lot of foundation of what a relationship and marriage is all about, and I think that's really, really good. Right. So, anyways, I think this we will have to end this episode, unfortunately. But if you want to have Anas again to talk about something else, he's a major weeb as well.
Wow.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he has a lot of experience in
I am a
anime.
If you you know what? Okay, let's put this down. If we get 10 likes on this video, we will ask
10
Anas
likes.
and Eri.
10,000.
We will ask Anas and Eri to come on an episode and talk about weeb stuff. What if you guys think that would be a good idea? Leave them down in the comments and give us that 10 likes we need.
Eco shop trash taste. Let's go.
2 ringgit shop trash taste.
Aduh.
But yeah, I can imagine where this is going. Anyways, but anyway, thank you, Anas, for coming on the podcast. This has been a very, very lovely episode with you.
Thank you for having me.
Definitely.
It was a fun experience.
The story was such an amazing story. I gotta say, like, it's worth a lot. That story, man.
Mhm. Thank you. I like telling it.
Jap.
It's a fun story.
You know, before we end, somebody just texted me.
Apa dia?
Oh my god, Haikal, congratulations! You're getting married now. You're getting married tomorrow.
Ayo Anas.
I mean,
Sorry,
That
the
was
clickbait.
amazing.
Clickbait. That was
Yeah.
a clickbait.
Haikal's
Is Haikal getting married tomorrow?
Okay, guys, if you want me to get married, then I guess that should be the next content soon in the near future.
50 likes and Haikal gets married tomorrow.
Oh, that likes.
I like. Boleh jadi dulu? Tak ada.
Kidding. I'm not in a rush anyways. I'm just like, just taking my time. But yeah. So thank you guys for watching for the second episode of Mencari Cinta with Anas Azman, Marriage at First Sight. Right? So now before you guys leave, I know you want to leave, but before you leave, just wait. Do fill in the Google forms below. Right? That will be really helpful for us to know how our content is delivered, how you guys want us to deliver the content, and we can improve from there. Because at the end of the day, this podcast isn't just about me and Haziq. It's about the community. It's about our audience and our guests as well, right? Of course, we want this to be a community project. We want to engage everybody with it, with our guests, with our audience. So yes, do help us fill in the Google Forms below so we can know what we can do for the next episode or for the next mini series later in the year. So, right, Haziq?
Betul, setuju. Banyak plan kita, insyaAllah.
Banyak plan kita. Yes. And honestly, we're really excited for the next few episodes coming up this year. But yeah, anyways, give us 10 likes and see if you want to ask Anas again to be on the podcast with Eri. That would be really interesting. You know, weeb versus weeb, trash versus trash.
1,000
know.
likes. 1,000 likes, I'll do
If
it.
you guys can give that, we shall do it. 10,000 or 10 likes, whatever. Just at least you get 2 digits. 2 digits, then
2 digits,
we shall
3 digits.
2 to 3 digits.
Aduh, korang ni bad handphone ni. Seorang nak 2 digit, seorang nak 3,000. Apa benda ni?
Can't help it, man. Can't help it. Aduh. But yeah, so thank you for listening. Oh yeah, remember to follow us on IG. And remember, if you think this episode is really interesting, put a hashtag Jom Lepak and follow us on IG. I wanna Jom Lepak and Facebook as well. And do subscribe to this channel. Put that notification bell on. And if you want to follow Anas, where can you follow Anas?
IG.
IG
Young
at
underscore Abbas.
Young underscore Abbas. It has the Chichi face.
Yeah, Kashing.
Is it Kaching?
It's Kashing. It's Kashing. Get that right.
Oh, it's Kaching. It's Kaching.
I have yet to change it though. I'll change it in a while.
Sorry, I haven't played Genshin in a while. But yeah, and you can follow Haziq at Hazikado.
I haven't changed my name yet. Okay, Haziq Adol lah.
Yeah, you haven't. And you can follow me at Asad Haikal. Feel free to like
Okay.
DM tepi kalau nak sembang pasal apa-apa kan.
Don't DM me.
You want to know?
DM them.
Yes.
Anas tekan.
I don't want your DMs.
Yeah. Don't DM me as well. DM Haikal je.
Unless
You
you're my
DM me,
friend,
DM Haikal.
then you DM me.
Yes.
Please DM Wana Jom Lepak or Haikal, not me. I'm also pretty busy with my own stuff.
Yeah. I mean, Haziq is a bit busy with other stuff lah. Okay. All right. Thank you guys for listening to Mencari Cinta episode 2. Remember to share this episode with your friends, and see you in the next episode where we talk about Fakri's marriage, where apparently he got married online. Till then, see you next time. Bye.
Bye-bye. Kau tekan N